In this video, we're going to cover how we can create a scripted connection using Exalate. For the purposes of this video, we'll first create a connection between a Jira Cloud instance and an Azure DevOps instance. So let's get started. You can start by clicking on Apps from the Settings list, which will take you to the familiar Exalate admin panel on the left sidebar. Click on Connections to kick things off. This will take you to the Connections page, from where we can initiate a connection. In order to initiate the connection, all you need is the base URL of the target system, which in my case is the Azure DevOps instance URL. I'll just copy this, navigate to Jira, and click on Initiate Connection. Once we paste the target system URL in, Exalate will ask you to choose between the three configuration modes available: the basic, the visual, and the script mode. So the script mode provides you with full autonomy in setting up the integration. This basically means that the source and the destination systems can be configured asynchronously. The Jira admin can configure his side of the connection, while totally asynchronously, the Azure DevOps admin can configure his own side. Now this makes the scripted connections ideal for cross-company integration scenarios, but obviously they can also be used in an intra-company scenario. The field mapping is created using Groovy-based scripts. We'll be looking at Groovy-based scripts later on in this course as well. But first, let's just get started with the script mode. So choose the mode and click Next. The next screen asks me to assign some user-friendly names to my local instance and my remote instance. In this case, I'm initiating the connection from the Jira side, so my local instance is Jira, and the remote instance would be Azure. You can also rename the connection, which I'm going to do. So let's call it the training test and hit Next. On the next screen, you are asked to select a project where all the incoming issues will be placed. This is basically Exalate asking you to select a Jira project where new issues are going to be created when data is received from the Azure DevOps side. You need to select one project to start off with. But later on, if you want the mapping to be one too many, saying having a work item coming from the Azure DevOps side created in a variety of different projects, it can be done by the scripting engine. We'll cover that in detail later on down the course. All right, we'll click Initiate, and this will complete half of the connection. So the Jira admin has done his part, and now he will generate an invitation code, which he can copy and pass on to the administrator on the other side. The connection will remain in pending until it's completed. That's when the Azure DevOps side has completed the transaction. So let's switch over to the Azure DevOps side. To access Exalate, click on Organization Settings at the bottom. The Exalate extension lives right at the bottom within the Extensions panel. Wait a few seconds for this to load. Once it loads up, you'll be on the Connections page. This time, we'll be accepting the invitation. So click on Accept Invitation and paste in the invitation code you received from the Jira side and click Next. You'll be asked to nominate another project out here. Again, this is Exalate asking you to nominate a project where all the incoming issues will be placed. So whatever Jira is sending over to Azure DevOps can be placed within that specific project. So I'll have to select one project to start with. Let's just do that and hit Confirm. And this should complete the entire connection process, which basically means that Jira initiated it and Azure DevOps accepted it and completed it. You can then click on Configure Sync, and you will be brought into this screen with a lot of scripts in here. All right, your connection is now active. As you can see, the green circle here. Let's go and refresh the Jira side as well. The connection should appear as active in green now, meaning that Exalate is ready to synchronize data between the two instances. All right, my connection is up and running. We'll be going over these scripts, the outgoing sync processor and the incoming sync processor in more detail. But just to give you a little bit of a taste of what's coming up, when you install a scripted connection, you'll see two sets of scripts called the outgoing and the incoming sync script. These are Groovy scripts that do all the processing of Exalate transactions. You do not need to configure any scripts at the moment. The connection is already established with default scripts, and you can start syncing already. We'll cover that in the upcoming episodes.